What up world, it's your homeboy WordPlay TJ, and I'm back with another video for you. This time around, I'm gonna talk about why you should join a union. Stay tuned. All right, so months ago, I did a piece about joining a musicians union, and I talked about an organization that is campaigning and lobbying for musicians to earn 1 penny per stream. At the time of the recording, I did my research, but I had a limited kind of scope and understanding of how musicians unions work. I also underestimated the work that's already being done and continues to be done in the world of musicians unions. And so from my perspective and many others' perspective, there's an assumption there that musicians unions aren't as abundant as they are. And so I'm here to do this video to dispel that myth and also talk about why you should join a independent musicians union for yourself. So first of all, why are musicians unions important? Well, musicians unions advocate for the things that musicians need to governments and large organizations who don't necessarily always see those needs. And oftentimes those needs can be combated by large organizations because obviously they don't want to shell out a lot of expenses and they have shareholders to care for, but it doesn't do right by the workers. And so these labor unions are advocating for musicians' rights and working conditions all across the board. Because of that underestimation that I talked about earlier, I want to talk about what are some of the unions that exist right now. For major label artists and for folks that record on a major label doing recording for like television and movies and video games and things of that nature, there is sag-aftra. So for freelance and working musicians, so people that play instruments, there's the American Federation for Musicians. There's also the Association for Independent Music Publishers, and that organization represents songwriters and people that publish music to the world. And lastly, not to neglect anybody else, there is the American Association for Independent Musicians. That organization also goes by A2IM, and so that's how I'm going to refer to them going forward. So the rest of this video is going to be about A2IM, and I'm going to tell you why you should join that organization. So what is A2IM? It's a nonprofit organization that advocates for independent musicians and label owners. Currently, they advocate for more than 600 independent music owners across the nation. They currently operate for the United States and they have sister organizations in the UK and other countries. So their mission statement is to promote growth and awareness for independent musicians. And they also have 3 pillars. Those 3 pillars are advocacy, education, and community. So I know what you're thinking. What have they done for independent musicians and what do they do for independent musicians? And that's important because I don't want to advocate for supporting an organization that doesn't really get much accomplished. But there's a caveat to that level of accomplishment, and I'm going to get to that later. So the scope of their advocacy work cannot be covered in this one video, but I'm going to talk about 3 different instances where they have advocated for independent musicians. They've taken part in the CASE Act, the HITS Act, and the AM/FM Act, also known as the American Music Fairness Act. Out of all 3 of those, the American Music Fairness Act is one of the biggest ones and most important ones, and currently in the House of Representatives. So this act would level the playing field when it comes to terrestrial radio paying royalties to artists. Beyond your belief, people that are played on the radio do not get millions of dollars worth of performance royalties when their stuff is played. This act would take on the big terrestrial radio companies and also make sure to protect the smaller radio companies and the independent radio companies that can't necessarily afford a big ticket like royalties. And A2IM, along with Sound Exchange, the Recording Academy, and many others have participated in advocating for the American Music Fairness Act. So what else have they done? What are their initiatives for musicians? So they have 3 different initiatives that they talk about, but many others in the background. So some of these initiatives include mentorship, Indie Discussions, and the Black Independent Music Accelerator Program. In the mentorship program, they connect new independent artists with veteran music executives so they can learn and grow together. And the Black Independent Music Accelerator is a program where they advocate for the growth of Black independent music labels. So A2IM have 4 membership types. They have label membership, associate membership, Artist Pro membership, and then the artist membership. 100% of these dues goes towards all of the advocacy work and the mission of A2IM. Artist membership is free to join, so I'm gonna advocate for that right now. Go ahead and sign up. And then Artist Pro membership is $99 per year. I'm gonna also recommend that you sign up for Artist Pro versus the free membership. And the reason is if you can afford $100 a year, that means you are putting your money towards the advocacy work that this organization is doing. And the more people that sign up at that level, the more work that they can get done, the more people they can hire, and the more lobbying on behalf of independent musicians they can do. If you're an independent music label or you support indie labels by distributing their work or doing something like that, you can sign up to be a member as well. And a share of your music revenue would be your dues for the association. So I kind of mentioned this a few moments ago, but why should you join? So joining not only supports the work that you do, but it supports everybody in the independent music community as a whole. Our collective action is a way for us to dismantle all the power that big, large organizations and governments have against proposing things for independent musicians. One thing that's really important to me is that independent musicians in the future get the money that they deserve for playing gigs. I think there's a discount for how musicians are pivotal to our community and our nation and our active lives as human beings. Music is involved in everything. As a matter of fact, 37% of the music industry's market share is to independent musicians. So that means that independent artists and independent record labels have some power. We have some sway in the way that this business works, and we should speak up. So how can you join? That's really easy. You go to a2im.org and you sign up for a membership. If you don't have the funds, sign up for a free membership and go ahead and get started. As you grow, you can sign up for the pro membership, or if you're an independent record label, go ahead and share a share of your music revenue and then join the A2IM. So that's it. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments section. I appreciate you watching this video. Be sure to share this with somebody that might get something out of it. Be sure to hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. And until next time, it's your homeboy WordPlay TJ. Peace.